Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today's guest is the champion in classic physique of the IFBB Tampa Pro Show. The man I'm talking about is Henri-Pierre Ano. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
That's it. You just won your first pro show. You go into the Olympia. You got to be thrilled. I want to hear some more enthusiasm.
I got it. I'm in the show, guys. You better come check out one of the best physique you ever seen on stage at the Olympia. Is that better?
That's better. Much better. Now, 2015, you won the Canadian Nationals in bodybuilding, turned pro. A lot of people were talking about you as the next coming. You always had that classic look to your physique. Did you ever think you would drop down to classic physique division and compete in that? Or, I mean, because you were a bodybuilder your whole life.
Well, actually, it's pretty. It's cool that you mentioned that because obviously, yeah, I was a bodybuilder, always been a bodybuilder, never thought about being something else than a bodybuilder.
Right.
But back in 2011, I participated to the Mr. Universe, the world qualifier amateur of the IFBB league, and there was back then even a classic physique division.
Right.
And my height was 6'1" plus, and I had to be 225 on stage.
Oh, wow.
So which is clearly something unattainable for me, something that would never go down to. So I never thought about going back to classique. No.
Right. Interesting. So, you competed as a pro a couple of years, you never really won anything big. And all of a sudden now they decide they're going to raise the IFBB Pro Classic Physique weight limits within each height by 10 pounds.
Yep.
And all of a sudden now you go from impossible to make weight. Now all of a sudden there's a real reality there. But yet, I don't know if you saw yourself as a classic guy. What made you make that final decision to say, you know what, let's do this? I know you work with Chris Aceto. Was Chris involved in this decision, or did you make this yourself?
No, I mean, it was on my part. At first, the main reason is because I took a long time off this year. In the off season, I took 7 months off. And I was about to get back into the groove, and I wanted to do a show this year. I didn't want to take the year off.
Right.
So I was looking at the schedule of the season. I was looking at the show that were left, and I had no time really to do my regular off-season prep and all that. Mm-hmm. At the same time, which was also a good timing, I noticed that they, like you said, raised up the class by 10 pounds, which should bring up my class to 240 pounds last year. Same time on stage in Florida at Tampa Pro, I was 249 on stage, so 9 pounds away. So yeah, at that point, I talked with Chris. We thought about it. And he's like, yeah, it should be very attainable for you. And I think the physique that I present, the aesthetic that I have, matches also the category, because you have a lot of bodybuilders that are doing the switch. And in my mind, I mean, if you don't do classique, your physique has to some sort match, the category. Just being a bodybuilder doesn't mean you want to go classic because you fit the weight. It has to fit the look, the posing, and the aesthetic of the classic physique.
I'm going to make a controversial statement right now. I feel, and I have a feeling you're going to agree with me. You almost took a whole year off. I mean, you literally prepared for the Vancouver Pro Show in 9 weeks. I know because Chris told me, and I know you confirmed that with me. You came in fourth there. Believe it or not, Chris and I thought you should have won that show. I think you were greatly overlooked at that event. Was that an upsetting, placing for you?
Honestly, it was the toughest prep in my life. We rushed that prep really, 2 hours of cardio a day. It was good for social media,
yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I was sucking it up all kinds. So I think I showed up maybe at 80%, which is maybe to the max of the shape that the package that I bring. So I think I was a bit off. Placing fourth, I think I could have placed better, in my opinion. But I mean, I was just a bit. It was really rushy. All that prep going there from off season, 9 weeks, boom, on stage. It was really quick. Yes, it's something that we're taking note, and that's not going to happen again in my book now.
I'm glad you said it, because here comes the controversial part of the statement. I don't even think you're your best that I've seen you. I think you could be way better than what we've seen already. And I think at the Olympia, you're going to finally hit that peak form that we've seen from you in the past.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think I looked at pretty good in Tampa. Chris was plenty satisfied. I think we almost nailed it close to the 100. But like you said, I'm in that phase that if I continue digging, if I keep going, I'm going to improve and get better. And this is what we'll see at the Olympia. Some more definition. It's called more hardness because it was the toughest part for me here is to come down from a weight that I'm used to compete at, which is like usually 250 to 55 on stage, looking full as as hell, looking hard rock, and then going down 10 pounds, even 12 pounds less in the same condition, the same look. And this is what's hard for me right now to just target since it's my first year. But I think we did a very good job in Tampa Pro, and Vegas will be better. Yeah.
What do you have to weigh on stage for the Olympia?
Sorry?
What is your weight? What's the maximum weight you can weigh on stage?
240. I cannot pass 240. At the weigh-in in Vancouver, I weighed 238. At the weigh-in at Tampa, all dressed up, and I mean long sleeve and full jogging pants, I stepped on the scale and I was 238.6. Right. So there's still a bit of room, I think.
Right. Well, I think you got as good a shot as anyone. How do it's amazing because I'm seeing so many great Canadian classic physique guys. It's like you guys have them all up there between Regan and Chris Bumstead and yourself, and there's a whole host of them. Where are all these physiques coming from? We've never seen this in the history of Canadian bodybuilding. All of a sudden, everyone's coming out of the woodwork up there. You guys got something in the water or something?
Yeah, I mean it's funny. It's a year that's filled up with Canadian Olympia. We forgot to mention there's Shane Watson also come in. There'll be a Mahmoud Mahad from Montreal, the Arab that's also qualified, come in here.
Ian Valliere.
Bumstead's sister go qualify at the same time. She won the Tampa in her category as well. That's right. So yeah, and this physique. I mean, I'm kind of the oldest guy in the league when it comes to those type of generation. And I mean, Chris was competing in national, and it looks like he was just being faded away in the lineup of bodybuilders because it's just and I feel the way he was feeling before, because we always hear the same comment: you're tall, you're lacking mass, you're not big enough, you're not hard enough, but you show up. But everybody's going to tell you have the nicest shape. Everybody wants your shape. But you're missing mass and you're lacking hard rock definition and all that. So you kind of, staying at that stage. And for him, I think Classic just opened an enormous quantity of opportunity for him just to explode. And he is at the top of his game right now.
All right, I'm going to ask you point blank. Can you win the Olympia this year?
If I can win the Olympia, I believe I can totally win the Olympia in the Classic Physique. This year, I'm going to say yes, because, I have confidence in myself. I trust the people that I work with. But I mean, it would be really, for me, a great accomplishment and a great surprise as well if I win the Olympia for me. I'm not expecting to go there and win it. I'm expecting to go there and placing top 5. That's the goal right now. Mm-hmm. And that's the main objective. If I win the show, it will be just extraordinary.
Now you're going to tell me why you can win the show. Why are you going to beat, the guys like Bumstead and Breon Ansley? What's better about your physique? Tell me.
Everybody compares me a lot to Bumstead, but I think in my book, I don't see Bumstead as much a threat as Breon, because a lot of people underestimate the rules and the pointers, what we're looking at when we look at classic physique. Bumstead is a very tall structure. Tall. He also poses with a lot of elegance, but he's a tall guy. Does good vacuum. Reminds me a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger pressing on stage, type of thing. But Breon, in my book, is a bit more dangerous. Breon has more dense muscle definition, legs way deeper. He has huge legs.
Yeah, he has huge legs.
Yeah. If you ever seen him in person and see the definition, he's also a very natural type of guy on stage. You feel his flow. You feel that he's there. He's having fun on stage. He knows how to pose, and I give him a lot of props for that. Mm. And this is what I like in bodybuilders. So in my book, for me, I would say that I have a bit more aesthetic look that Breon. I also think that my body and the way my aesthetic is pronounced, the way what I flex, the striation are deeper than you see on Breon as well. If I can just raise up a bit my leg game to match his insertion and condition of the legs, I think I can give him a good run for his money, yeah.
Well, you look great this past weekend. You got to be proud of yourself. You won the show. You earned the invite to the Olympia stage. What does it mean to you after all these years of training, and trying to, be the best bodybuilder you can be, and now you're finally going to stand on that Olympia stage?
Yeah, well, I mean, now for me, it's just to bring all my A game to another level. I'm going to try to do the best routine that I ever did. I'm going to try to show up there in the best condition. I'm going to push myself up to the max. So I'm going to get all the tools that I have, like you say, around me, and all the support also, because winning a show, it's the first time I win a pro show. You have a lot of opportunities, a lot of people approaching you,
Right.
You need to catch up, and you need to capitalize on these. Sure. And I mean, you need to be disciplined, and this is something that I was lacking a bit before. It's always been very easy for me competing, routine. I never practiced a routine in my life. I always show up freestyle on stage. Some people will be so impressed by that, but this is, I think, how, if you're a bodybuilder, you understand what I mean. When you like the flow, when you like to be on stage and you're comfortable, just being on stage, put some music, pose, it's a party for us, Right. So I'll have fun, and I'm trying to put up the best show that I can, but I'll put some more heart into it more than ever, yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was my next question. You appear to me to have such genetic gifts that sometimes you take them for granted. Do you think earlier in your career maybe you didn't give 100% because you didn't really need to? You were beating guys just on your genetic potential, and now that you see you're so close to that Olympia title, you're hungrier now? Maybe you're working harder?
Yeah, let me just at least tell you first what was bodybuilding for me before when I started. Bodybuilding for me before competition was subscribing to the gym, 3 months trial, 3 months diet, doing the show, goodbye, see you next year. That's what I was doing for the 5 first year bodybuilding that I was training, dieting 3 months prior any show, and start training at that moment. Wow. So for me, it was always very easy till I hit the national level. Then I started doing a little off season, and then when I turned pro, I've seen what the word professional means. It means right. Being hungry. It means being disciplined. It means working hard all year round. It means it's your job, and you have to represent it. So yes, now that I'm at my 3rd year pro now, and I'm going to Olympia, I have no choice to respect that, and I have no choice to respect the game. And this is why either I qualify or not. If I do my top 5, off season, no off season, I'm going to take the whole year and focus on the whole year, each day, each hour, each minute of each day to capitalize, to make sure I do whatever needs to be done to be the best on stage in the world. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the huge win and the Olympia qualification. It'll be an interesting battle up there, adding another great name to the list. Anyone you want to thank out there?
Of course, I mean, the most definitely Chris Aceto's been fantastic for me, especially at Tampa. He was coming to see me in my room every 3 hours. Chris, thank you. I wouldn't be here without you. Also, my sponsors, Nutribolics, Fit Menu, they've been supporting me since day one. My gym here in Laval, Montreal, Atlantis Gym, Laval, Montreal. Thank you. All my supporters, people on Instagram, having a ton of love. Even more since the past weekend, and I'm just grateful for that and really humble towards everybody that support me.
Well, once again, congratulations. Well-fought victory. You look great, and I'm excited. I'll be out there in Vegas to get to see you up on that Classic Physique stage, and we'll see how you battle out with the top guys in the class. I guess you got a couple weeks to kind of just chill. Are you going to take some time off before you start the Olympia prep, or are you going right into it?
Well, I mean, it's a great coincidence that I'm here for that. I have a place here. I'm in Fort Myers right now, so when we spoke earlier,
you are?
Sunny. Yeah.
Why'd you come to my studio, you lazy bastard?
Well, I didn't even know you guys were based
How did I know you were in
Fort?
What are you doing in Fort Myers?
You're in Fort Myers?
We're in Cape Coral, right next to you, 2 minutes away.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Well, give me your info. I'll certainly pass by after, certainly, for sure, yeah.
What are you doing down
so
here,
I'm in Fort Myers
vacationing?
here for 2-3 days. I mean, I have a place here in Fiddlesticks Country Club here. And so I'd always come after Tampa, spend 2-3 days here, check out the spot, and enjoy the sun and the heat of Florida.
Next year, you'll have to come down here, or if you're in the area, we'll have to get you into the studio here so we can get an in-studio interview with Henri-Pierre. Who knew you were right down the block from us, right?
Internet world, huh?
There you go. Well, enjoy your little vacation, and good luck on the Olympia prep, and we'll be rooting for you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
All right, and that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. Visit speciesnutrition.com. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.